Hi, Douglas Simonson here, coming to you from Mexico with a message for all painters who work from photographs. Stop torturing yourself. If you're a painter who works from photographs, you're already making a smart professional choice. I'm going to tell you how to make that choice even kinder to your eyes, your brain, and your creative spirit, and how to make your painting easier and more fun. Painting is demanding work. You deserve tools that lighten the load instead of making it heavier. When you try to work from a blurry, low-res, tiny image or work from a phone, you are asking your brain to guess. You're making your job a lot harder. Working from clear, generous, detailed references gives your natural sensitivity and judgment a chance to do its best work. Phones are great for taking photos and for doing a quick check on the overall image, but as a primary reference, they can really cramp your style. If all you have right now is a phone, no worries. Use a stand, turn up the brightness, and zoom in as needed. And when you can, graduate to a bigger, clearer reference. Print out your image as large as you can, or use a big monitor if you can and put it on a stand next to your painting. Your shoulders and your painting will thank you. Magazine and newspaper clippings are great for ideas, but not great for information. They're usually half-toned images, which means they're made up of tiny dots, and you can't zoom in and get any real information. Same for small snapshots. If the snapshot is small but sharp, you can scan it at a high resolution and then blow it up. But if it's small and not sharp, don't torture yourself. Paint something else. Early in my career, I took a portrait commission where the woman wanted a portrait of her late father, and the only picture that the whole family had of him was this old photograph, black and white, small and not sharp. And I thought, I can do that, but I found out there just was not enough information. No matter how hard I worked, it was just not going to be possible to get a decent likeness because there just wasn't enough information. And I've never forgotten that. What I learned from that is I'm allowed to say no to impossible references. And so are you. That's not chickening out or wimping out on a challenge. That's just respecting your craft and yourself as an artist. So what does a good reference look like? The image should be clear with high resolution, very sharp, and you should be able to print it out even bigger and be able to zoom in on parts of it that you need to see more clearly. If you have an old photo and it's decently sharp, scan it at a high resolution and print out as big an image as you can. Once you've got your photograph digitized, or if it's already in your computer, then you have the option of making it brighter, sharper, changing the colors, adjusting it in whatever way will make it easier for you to work from. You want an image big enough and sharp enough and detailed enough that you can zoom in for answers. When something feels off, zoom in on that area. You'll be surprised how much more you can see, and often you can spot the fix immediately. The more detail you have, the better. And I'm not telling you to paint every detail. I'm a big believer in simplifying and leaving a lot out. But you have to have that information in the first place to know what to leave out. Information first, interpretation second. Before I start work from a photograph, I always tweak the photo in Photoshop using my own set of adjustments and filters that I've worked out over time. This gives me a simplified version, less detail, simplified color design. And then I have two versions of the image to work from. One is the original for detail, for those times when I really need to see the detail to know what's going on. And most of the time, I'm referring to the simplified tweaked image, which has fewer details and a simplified color design. This way I have accuracy and painterly ideas. If you want to know more about how I use Photoshop to tweak images to make them easier to work from, check out my video on this channel, Using Photoshop to Make Photos Easier to Paint From. This isn't cheating or taking the easy way out. It's respecting and supporting the artist that you already are. The more you can see, the more power you have as an artist. And that's going to make your painting more fun and give you better results. So give yourself that gift and stop torturing yourself with poor reference images. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do. I'd love to have you come along. There are a lot more tips and demos on the way. And now, put on your painting pants, get your good reference images and put them up next to your canvas, and go paint. Magic could happen.